Welcome to the Homeschool High School podcast, brought to you by Seven Sisters Homeschool.com and the Ultimate Homeschool Podcast Network. I'm Vicki, and I want to talk about one of my very favorite subjects, and that's helping teens invest in their interests. One of the most important gifts we can give our teens in their high school years is to really lean into discovering their interest, to explore ideas that are important to them, or just find out that they have interests and to try on hats and to see which ones are the best fits for them. Out of these interests, teens may turn these into hobbies and things that are avocations that will follow them the rest of their lives or just for high school. But sometimes these interests will become the first steps towards a career. And we want to know that we have done our part in helping our kids be ready, to invest in that, to know whether they really are interested in something enough to make it a career. So, anyway, a really important part of high school is investing in interests. So let's talk about 10 ways to help teens develop their interests. It's really, really fun. Like, take a deep breath. This should not be stressful. It should be an adventure. And we want you and your teens to have fun. So, all right, the first one, number one, is if you find your teen has an interest they'd like to explore, see if they've got some other friends that have the same interests and let them have get-togethers and participate in the activity together or make a club. So I'll give you an example. So my son, number four, was really interested in doing film. The Lord of the Rings was out in those days. It was the hot thing, and all of the videos that the kids could get and play back at home had the backstory, how the movie was made, and the kids would all get together and watch, how they made the Lord of the Rings. It was so much fun. So they all got into making their own movies, and they made a club. And so we were able to put that as an extracurricular on their transcripts. So they had a club, they wrote scripts, they did the whole from start to finish, filmed, acted out, made props, and so really had some marvelous experiences with making their own little short movies. So, that son actually went on and got his AA degree in video production. And by that time, had said, you know what, this is not what I want to do for a career, but it's going to be a good tool. So he has used that, through college to do his presentations. He had extra skills that on group projects, they could make some really outstanding group projects using some filmmaking kind of skills. And then he's a teacher now, and he's had a club at his school doing video production. So, you're never wasting time investing in those kids' interests. So having get-togethers, either informal or making a club so it's more formal, is a top way to do that. All right, tip number two is join a local group that's already there. So in our area, our local library has a lot of groups for teens where they explore different interests. It's really interesting how involved our local library system is in investing in teens. So you can check your local library, see if there's something there, or your co-op or local homeschool support groups or umbrella schools. Sometimes churches will have things that our teens are really interested in. Teens who are ministry oriented, missions oriented, all kinds of things that teens may be wanting to explore interest wise. Let them jump on that and know that you are investing in interests that can go on a transcript or just be an extracurricular or just for fun. Other interest groups that are in the community, keep your ears out. There are all kinds of opportunities if we know our teen is interested and they want to do that. So some teens don't want to join groups, some do, and it's awfully cool when they can. Tip number 3 is take an online or a local course. So, our local community colleges here have a lot of community courses. So, they're not for credit courses, they're just open to the community. They're usually fairly inexpensive and like a half a semester long or a full semester long. And so, these are classes teens aren't earning credits, but they are people who are experts in the community in different topics come and do these short courses. So it's no pressure because there's no grades, there are no assignments, just learning about. And teens get some experience with some experts. They could take master classes, edX classes, Udemy classes, or the homeschool schools. So if you look online, like our friends at Funda Funda Academy, have these online classes and lots of topics that may be of interest to our students. Tip number 4, just log hours for an elective credit. So if the teen is already wanting to spend some time exploring a subject, let them do it. And then as unboringly as you can, have them log the hours. So, one of our top articles at Seven Sisters Homeschool is from the Freedom Homeschool mom. So, her name is Sarah, and her kids have really gotten into gardening. So, they have done gardening for an elective credit. They are interested in gardening. They may not turn it into a career, but they will probably take it on as a life skill and make gardens the rest of their lives. And so they log those hours and get elective credit because they are learning all kinds of the science and details and planning that goes into gardening. So there are all kinds of interests that teens can have, and we can capture that towards the richness of elective credits on their transcripts. All right, and then tip number 5 is, if they are interested in something that can build core credits, let's let them lean into it. So some of our teens that have really been into sciences have done extra sciences like marine biology or an extra chemistry course. If they are really into it, let them explore. We've had teens get a textbook on astronomy and take courses in that. And so we can just hand them the textbook. If they like that kind of thing, then that goes towards a core credit or an elective credit on their transcript, and it's right there in a textbook. That's pretty cool. Tip number 6 is have them write a research paper for their ELA credit or as towards some elective hours. So one of my teens was just always born a musician, was born singing and has enjoyed singing and playing guitar and being part of a church worship band. And when he was in high school, he got to be really interested in why church music is what church music is. So, he noticed that at his church they sang one kind of song, and at other churches they sang another kind of song. So he went through one of his years in high school researching the history of church music and did a research paper and learned all kinds of things. So that really built his ELA credit, but also he had so many hours working on it because it was really interesting to him that he ended up with enough hours for, I think it was a half a credit in church music history. Like he didn't need that, but it showed richness on his transcript, and you might as well get credit for what you do. And it definitely had sparkle. So if he was competing for a scholarship, at a certain college, that would have really added sparkle there. He didn't need that, but it really was a good thing to make the transcript look nice. And number 7, teens can take a dual enrollment course. So in many of our local areas and sometimes online with colleges, teens can take dual enrollment courses. And sometimes those courses that are available to our teens are in an interest area. So it doesn't need to be a core course, doesn't need to be a math course or a science course. It could actually be, something that is of interest to them, and they're getting a little bit of college credit and a little bit of homeschool credit. And so if it's there and they want to do that, like, why not? Then tip number 8, find an apprenticeship. So one of our teens years ago wanted to learn about horses and shoeing horses. What is that called? Farriers. And so found a local farrier and worked with them and learned those skills. And it was fabulous. Another one of our teens was so interested in becoming a large animal vet and did an apprenticeship for a good while with that vet. And so those things really sparkled up the transcript. Interestingly, the one who did the apprenticeship with the vet decided that that was no lifestyle for her. And she went into a different career. And the only way she really would have known that is to try it out, by shadowing a vet and helping out there. So that kind of thing looks really good on a transcript. And it's just really valuable life experience. Another really, really good tips, number 9, is find a service or volunteer opportunity. Is there something related to your interest that the team can go put in some hours serving the community? Like in our area, we live near the Chesapeake Bay, and so there are organizations that families go out and they do kayaking and river cleanup and things like that, where they're involved in taking care of our local area. So it's a way to develop an interest in nature, in water, in kayaking. And also get service hours, and service hours look really good on a transcript as well. Then the last one, number 10, is just allow your teen to have time each day, just having fun, exploring that interest. I mean, you don't want to take the fun out of an interest by turning it into something that's a pain in the neck, or you must do this and you must build your transcript and you must have your whole life figured out. Like, we don't ruin a good interest turning it into a torment. So as much as you can, let's keep it on the curiosity side of things, on the fun side of things. Like, let's make interest the gift that God gave it to be, and not a thing that is boring. So let's just let our teens have time just as often as possible to just explore the interest, just do what they want to do. This is especially important for teens who don't love being in a group. They just like to explore things on their own. And there is nothing wrong with that. So for our more introverted teens, or our teens that just need some chill time, let them explore those interests. Now, if you want to, you can have them log the hours if that's not going to be too much a pain in the neck. But if it's going to take the joy out of it, the world will not come to an end if that does not end up on a transcript. For us moms, it's really hard when things don't get captured on a transcript, but it's okay. It is all right. So sometimes they just need time to chill and enjoy the gifts that they have. So if you'd like to know more about showing electives on a transcript, or lists of extracurriculars and interests and electives that you can put on the transcript, I will put links in the comments on YouTube and in the show notes to articles we have at Seven Sisters Homeschool, because there's not one right way to homeschool, but we've been doing it a long time, and we've got lots of seventh sisters who are homeschooling as well. So we can pool everybody's ideas and share those there on the website. And we've got the links to share with you. So if you've got any questions about how to help your teens develop interest or got some cool ideas, go over to Seven Sisters Homeschool Facebook group. So it's Seven Sisters Homeschool, all squished into one word, and share those ideas or ask the questions in the group. There are so many cool people in that group, and everybody loves to share ideas. So you can get good resources and good opinions, or share them with the group. And that is a really, really awesome thing, because we are all in this homeschool thing together. So, all right. Well, thank you for joining us today on the Homeschool High School podcast, brought to you by Seven Sisters Homeschool.com and the Ultimate Homeschool Podcast Network. And thank you to Seth Tillman for editing. And we will see everybody next week.